The WWE pay-per-view dubbed Tables, Ladders, and Chairs is coming up this weekend, and even as non-wrestling fans can guess from that name, it means this one's going to get just a little bit messy. We have to bring in CBS Local Sports wrestling contributor Chuck Carroll to get his thoughts. Chuck, how's it going?
It's going great. How are things with you?
They're going great, and we have so much to talk about this weekend. Chuck, let's start with the match between Universal Champion Bray Wyatt and The Miz. This is an angle that came together pretty quickly, and what kind of payoff do you see coming out of it?
I mean, I really think that you said that it came together pretty quickly, and I think that it's going to wrap up pretty quickly. The Miz just kind of seems to be a guy who's been dropped in here to face Bray Wyatt. I really think that he's just going to be that conduit to get back to Bray Wyatt / The Fiend against Daniel Bryan. That feud is far from over. And the interesting thing here is that it is indeed Bray Wyatt and not his sinister alter ego, The Fiend, who is defending the champ. Well, he's not even defending the championship. They're just wrestling. This is a non-title match. So I think that what you may see happen is Daniel Bryan somehow resurface and put his name back into the hat to rekindle that feud. But there's no way that Miz winds up winning this match. Bray Wyatt walks away victorious if it's not thrown out altogether.
Next up, Chuck, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between The New Day and The Revival. Will the champions retain?
Oh, absolutely. I don't even think that there's a question about this. You know, the New Day, they're just one of WWE's top tag teams. They sell a ton of merchandise. They generate a ton of money for the company. And at the end of the day, this is a business and money talks, right? And if the New Day can generate those dollar bills, then they're going to be on top. Here's the interesting thing, though. The fans, they absolutely love the Revival, despite the fact that they're the heels in this one, okay? But the Revival also, we don't know really what the future holds for them in WWE. It wasn't more than a few months ago that they were publicly kind of lobbying to be released. They were unhappy about these things. It surfaced in the wrestling media that said that they had indeed, wanted to leave. So they put the tag belts on them shortly after those reports surfaced. But then they lost the gold, and now the New Day has it. I don't see the Revival getting the gold back here, but we'll keep an eye and see what happens in their future. But the New Day here, for all intents and purposes, will walk away victorious because they've got cereals to sell, they've got T-shirts to sell, unicorns to sell, they've got a brand new podcast that they need to promote, and they can do that so much better when they've got gold around their waist.
Unicorns? They've got unicorns to sell.
They do, and they light up. It's it's pretty cool. The kids love it.
I'm gonna have to look into that or something. All right, we also have a women's tag team championship up for grabs and a classic TLC match featuring the Kabuki Warriors against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Is there any chance this tossed together tag team of Lynch and Flair becomes a champion?
That is $1 million question. I actually think that there is a chance. I don't think that a lot of people think that Lynch and Charlotte Flair can actually walk away with the gold, but you got to remember that they've been teasing this. Charlotte flat out asked Becky Lynch if she was ready to be Becky Two Belts again, and she said undeniably the answer was yes, but really they're focused on revenge because the Kabuki Warriors, which I know that you love that name, they are they've been stirring up trouble for Lynch and Flair recently. So I think that the name of the game here is going to be revenge. But remember here, we're almost flipping the calendar to a new year. And that means that when January rolls around, we are officially on the road to WrestleMania. And I can see a scenario playing out where indeed Charlotte Flair and the Man actually win the titles, but then kind of have their friendship, the rekindled friendship or partnership kind of dissolve again, and then you see those two wrestle again at WrestleMania. That's one scenario. I think that it's a plausible one, so keep an eye on them winning the titles on Sunday.
And finally, Chuck, we always have to get your thoughts on what could be the match of the night. What do you think it's going to be?
Well, outside of the women's TLC match, I think that you really have to look to a match that's not getting a ton of play, and that's Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. These are two guys that really, they're just not used to the best of their abilities. Yes, Aleister Black, he gets these cool little promos, and people come and knock on his door, and he's in this dungeonous area that nobody can ever seem to find except for Buddy Murphy in the basement, the bowels of the arenas where they hold these shows. But other than that, these guys aren't really given a whole heck of a lot of time or an opportunity to shine in the ring. And when they are given that time, they put on these 4- and 5-star matches, and I think that you're going to see a classic on Sunday. So keep an eye on this one. Even if it gets relegated to the kickoff show, this is one worth tuning in early to see.
A lot to look forward to this weekend. Chuck, thank you so much for joining us. WWE TLC is coming up this Sunday, December 15th. Katie Johnston for CBS Local Sports.